Guys, should we get a German Shepherd? Should you get a German Shepherd? Why would any? Not do me. Why would anybody want a German Shepherd? This is the German Shepherd King, the God himself. He hails from Germany. You hear the accent? These are real German Shepherds. Now, German Shepherds, as you know, they're a working dog. They're police dogs. At least that's how we associate a German Shepherd with, handler per se. They're almost a little bit more ruthless than pit bulls, believe it or not. Remember, they made a movie called Cujo. Wasn't no pit bull in there. It was a fucking shepherd. And that buddy was getting active. Why the German Shepherd, man? Why would anybody buy or should they get a German Shepherd?
Well, I would say everybody should get a German Shepherd if you need somebody to watch your house, your family, your kids. Yeah. If you get the right dogs, they're clear-headed. They'll be good with your kids, with your animals.
Now, is it natural for them to already be protective or watchdogish?
It is in the genetics. If you get them from the right genetics, it's natural for them to protect. Yeah. So originally they're bred for herding.
Yeah.
But beginning or end of the 19th century and beginning of 20th century, that's when they discovered that they're actually pretty good in working in general, and the police and military picked on that really quick.
Now, what's the biggest difference, would you say, between a Malinois, Dutch Shepherd, and a German Shepherd?
Once their threshold, a German Shepherd is doesn't immediately have to go and everything, bite everything, go over everything. They're more clear-headed, able to think, work through certain problems, where Malinois, a lot of times they just go right in there. Yeah, you know what I mean? They see something, they go straight through it, where the Shepherd sometimes looks for ways around it, which in some situations is good, some situations not so much. So
it's like a calm-down version of a Malinois, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Now, for those that don't know, or maybe you do know, I started with German Shepherds, people. My grandfather wouldn't let me get a pit bull growing up. So my first dog was Ringo. I bred Ringo. We then created a dog named Tank. I took Tank home. I told someone the other day, the first time you ever really own something, it is a pet. So you can, you live in this house, you buy it, you sell it, somebody else owns it. If you look at people that are bums, I don't know no other way to say it, or homeless people with dogs, that dog will not leave your side. Jamarcus could attest to many of my dogs. I come in, it's the same thing with his dogs, I would imagine too. Nobody can take your dog. You can take the PlayStation 5, take your car. I wouldn't take my car if the dog was in there because he knows you're not supposed to be in there, especially if he's highly trained. The dog is the first time in your life you start feeling like it's your first time you get to own something. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I'm gonna tell you, when I was a kid, that's the first time you really start feeling responsible for something. And now that we know way more about pets, it's the bringing them up, it's the parenting, it's the teaching, it's the training. For us, it's the feeding, it's the love, it's the care, it's the time, energy, and effort, man. What are some things people should know about German Shepherds for those that are interested in getting one?
Think about what you're looking for, why you want the dog for, make sure you're familiar with the breed. They do need the exercise, they do need a lot of care, you do need to watch their ears, you do need to clean them because they have pointy ears, so certain things you gotta be aware of.
Fucking catch mittens, they catch everything.
Exactly, they catch everything, So from time to time you gotta know that, otherwise you got those nasty ear infection going on. So.
And how do you normally treat that when your dog gets an ear infection?
It's very easy if you prevent it instead of fighting it. So keep those ears clean, right? Keep those ears clean, some cotton balls and some ear cleaner, and that's sometimes all it takes. And just a little massage on the ear and
boom.
Let them shake it out, that's it. It can be as easy as 1 or 2 minutes and you're done with it.
And then how often? Is it like once a week?
Depends. If you're out walking your dog, out in nasty areas, or let him go through a lake or whatever, I might do it once a week. If it's a nasty day, and maybe on the same night. Yeah. And otherwise, keep an eye on it. You see when your dog's ears are dirty. And you're gonna see a lot of people having German Shepherds, and you look at their ears and you're like, it's supposed to be a lot lighter in that ear. So you can see a lot of dirt because people don't treat them. So.
There you have it, people. Well, we're not getting a German Shepherd, even though I asked the question at the beginning. I've been there, done that. I personally don't like the shedding. I'm over that.
Yeah, you gotta get used to that.
I'm over that shit, bro. That fucking shedding is for the birds, man. Is he nice?
He's nice. He's a puppy.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but he's just a puppy. He's like, he's nice.
I got one puppy. He's not nice. He's a little skittish, or not skittish.
Brody?
What do you say? Yeah, Brody. He's a little dick.
He just don't care about people.
Yeah.
He just takes it very serious.
So he might just bite you, but he won't.
Well,
He won't.
I respect dogs, and I don't think every dog should be pet anyway. So if you ask somebody in there, just this much hesitant, I say, look, I don't give a shit. I ain't trying to touch that dog no way. So anywho, people, stay tuned. Take care of your dogs. Tell them where they can find you at, man.
I got a website, txgermanshepherd.com, or otherwise Facebook and Instagram, same txgermanshepherd.com. I worked on my name.
I know. I heard it wasn't no longer some Von German Shepherd, Houdini, and the rest of them fools. He had a whole band he was dropping every time, and everybody's a syllable, a name. I said, dude, you gotta change that, bro.
Oh.
They go to them protective natures. He hear a sound he don't like. See, that's the only thing. When you say level-headed, them German Shepherds, man.
Oh, man.
They almost think they think too much.
Oh, they got their days where they're like, "What are you doing?" You know what I mean?
And that I can see that because like even now, since he's went in the backyard, he's so focused on smelling and sniffing and getting familiar.
Yeah.
He's like tiptoeing. How old is he?
He's 9 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that for me at this stage of my life is too much. It's too much because I could just tell, like, you got to make sure this motherfucker go sees everything. He got to go see the whole world. So 5 years from now, he's good to go.
So, so he's somebody, he definitely needs a little time to get familiar with the environment.
I know. Look, I already seen this before. I'm like, nope. I know how much work that look like when you bring something like that. I'm like, oh, hell no.
He might need some time in getting comfortable in the area he's in. Yeah,
and that can be every environment though.
It can be every.
He's like this. He's like he's skeptical. That's skepticism. And mind you, he's weighing his options and figuring out who he's going to be if the place is safe. He's thinking too much. You go now. And then if you know your dog, you got to focus on him. Because it's like, if he moved around, you're like, oh, hey, back up. He'll bite your ass. He's too unsure right now.
But then, maybe even the litter mate might be the totally opposite, right?
That part too, man. That part too. But yeah, I like a good German Shepherd. I ain't fucking with them things no more. That's way too much work. Stay tuned. We're going to see if we can do a couple competence things with him. Again, he's already in a new environment. Him's going to do some training stuff, walk you through that. We're going to see if we can jump in the water, even them through training a shepherd and when to start, and this is some stuff we'll B-roll as well. So right now, people, he has a 9-month-old, you said?
9 months.
9-month-old German Shepherd boy. First thing you always got to do is find your dog's driver. Second thing you want to do is get him focused. And so, how long does it take to train a German Shepherd, man?
It never stops, but
yeah, that part
depends what you want. So if you just want some obedience training, just want some sits and downs, some healing, it can go pretty quick. If you got German Shepherds are smart dogs, but if you have a dickhead, some dogs they will test your patience. So protection dog, depends what level you want it on. If you want everything off leash control, it can take up to 2 years to get a fully trained dog that you can take anywhere you want off leash.
I think that's pretty normal though, right? It's normal for the average dog to take two years to really like develop.
Yeah, because the first year and a half, they're still puppies. They're starting to grow. The first year, I actually don't put a lot of training onto my dogs. I just want them to build themselves up and find their...
Talk about the importance of that too with the German Shepherd, because I think everybody, even with a highly educated dog, like German Shepherds are a breed, I think, that come with a master's degree. Like, niggas got to go through that little 2-year, you got to get your associates and your bachelors. But the German Shepherd, it come with like a master's and you could take it to PhD level. But talk about the importance of allowing the puppy, even when it comes prepared to work and train, giving it its time to grow up and just be a dog.
Right. So I like to let my dogs just be a dog, because you will be able to see as well what the dog's strengths are. The dog builds itself up. It does what it likes to do. You can see what kind of dog you got. Instead of manipulating certain genetics so much because you got a picture of the dog that you want the dog to do, certain exercises that the dog is, even with good genetics, he doesn't got those few things, and you're just trying to force them onto a dog. Where if you let the dog develop, let him do his own little thing, they become stronger, they figure out things on their own, and you don't always have to guide them and tell them what to do. They become independent. And literally what their genetics for that specific dog, they come out on his own. You just got to feed him a little bit. Some people put too much training, too much effort into a tiny little puppy because they got the end product in their head already, but the dog might not even be made for it.
That part, man, I think, and mind you guys, we'll do a few more episodes with our guy Henrik here because it's important to read behaviors. Some of you guys want your dogs to be amazing, like he said, and you start applying pressure, and the pressure actually just breaks the dog.
Yeah.
And when the dog breaks, it's not like a human. You just like that therapy thing, like when it breaks, those behaviors become a part of his DNA. And it shuts down quickly, and then everything you want to do, it never can because it'll hesitate. And in this particular breed or any breed where you want a dog to be protective, you've got to allow the dog's brain to start catching up with what's going on and let it start thinking about things in its own way. And you, like a great teacher, you just guide it. Like you ain't got to tell Jordan to be Jordan. You just got to say, Jordan, we gonna set this play up. Now you make the choice. You might have to dish the rock or you're gonna take the shot. You'll know in that moment what to do, right? Same thing with Tom Brady and those guys. When you see the people, when the quarterback runs the ball, you go, hey, my hands are tied here, but we can't go backwards. We got to go forward. So you got to make a choice and try not to get knocked out. Hey, look, buddy, I want no trouble. But I love that too because some people think you're supposed to train a dog. It's 8 weeks old. It's supposed to be trained. You're like, man, stop playing. Let that motherfucker grow up.
Yeah. So I'm all for it. Like I let my puppies with. They don't get a prong collar, e-collar. They don't get any leash pressure or not much at all. Like when they're young, I want them to go do your own thing. Like if you believe it or not, he used to be one of the hottest dogs in the litter, and he started to slow down. So I could see more and more how he really is. And another dog who was really one of the slowest ones, with no training, became one of the most motivated dogs, the quickest dogs, and a very hard dog actually in playing. If I play with the ball, with the tuck, for food, it used to be him, and he slowed down quite a bit. What I can see right now in this new environment as well, where I know if I would have brought that dog that was the slowest at the beginning, if I would bring him in right now, if I had him here, he would act totally different than he did. Mm-hmm. But both dogs have not been interacted a lot. They didn't get a lot of obedience. They found their true temperament without any manipulation from the owner or the trainer. So you do have mom's, dad's genetics, they're all the same, but you don't know how much this puppy got from mom and dad. You don't know how much the other puppy got from mom and dad, or what they got, what good traits, what bad traits. So if you really want to know what kind of dog you have, let the dog develop itself and let him show you who he is. And then you know what you can work with.
Hey, you got it, people. Listen, I like the shepherd space, man. I like people who take training very serious. The dog looks good too. I mean, he's a good looking shepherd, man. Guys, take care of your dogs.